Fire of Speed, the story of the birth of British motorsport. The beginning of the 20th century in England was a time of great change. Alongside steam trains, horse-drawn carriages were still seen, and automobiles were just beginning to enter everyday life. They inspired both admiration and apprehension. At that time, a group of enthusiasts saw in the new machine not just a means of transport, but an opportunity for competition. Thus, British motorsport was born. The first car races took place on rural roads and tracks. In 1907, Brooklands, the world's first purpose-built racing circuit, opened in Surrey. Its concrete oval track allowed cars to reach record speed for that era. New technologies began to be implemented here. Aerodynamic body shapes, improved engines. It was at Brooklands that British speed record holder Malcolm Campbell set several world land speed records in the 1920s and 1930s. After World War II, motorsport in England experienced a rebirth. Former military airfields, notably Silverstone, were converted into racetracks. In 1950, the first official Grand Prix took place at Silverstone, the start of the Formula One World Championship, which later became the most prestigious series in motor racing. In the 1960s, the area around the town of Grove, known as Motorsport Valley, became the center of motorsport engineering. Legendary teams such as McLaren, Lotus, and Williams worked and developed there. The founders, Bruce McLaren, Colin Chapman, and Frank Williams, became famous as engineers and innovators who fundamentally changed the design and technical equipment of race cars. From the 1990s to today, British motorsport has become a part of culture. Speed festivals like the Goodwood Festival of Speed gather fans and racing legends. In the 21st century, England was the first to support the development of electric racing through Formula E, symbolizing a new direction in motorsport. Sustainability without losing the thrill. Modern British champions such as Lewis Hamilton and George Russell carry the legacy of over a century, passion for speed, innovation, and courage on the track. If you want, I can help expand this story by adding biographies of drivers, technical innovations, or interesting facts. Just let me know. Continuation, the rise, challenges, and new era of British motorsport. The 1960s and 1970s were truly the golden age of British motorsport. Teams from Motorsport Valley were not just competing, they were shaping the rules of the game. For example, Colin Chapman, founder of Lotus, pioneered the concept of lightweight cars, actively using aluminum and composite materials instead of heavy steel frames. Lotus was also the first to introduce aerodynamic wings that dramatically changed downforce and handling. This period saw the rise of driving legends such as Jackie Stewart, a three-time world champion known not only for his victories, but also for his fight to improve safety on the track. Thanks to him, motorsport became less dangerous. In the 1980s, as Formula One became more technologically advanced, British engineers and designers introduced innovations like turbocharging, electronic engine management, and anti-lock braking systems, ABS. Teams like McLaren and Williams dominated championships, winning numerous titles. The 1990s marked a new rise for British drivers and teams. In 1993, the young Damon Hill made his debut, becoming world champion in 1996, while Williams was one of the leading teams globally. Around this time, the career of Scottish driver Jackie Stewart flourished, followed by notable drivers such as Johnny Herbert. Alongside Formula One, other motorsport disciplines grew in England: rallying, touring, car racing, and sports prototypes. Teams and drivers competed in prestigious events like the 24 Hours of Le Mans and the World Rally Championship, WRC. A major breakthrough of the 21st century was the emergence of new racing series that reflect the spirit of the times. One such series is Formula E, the championship for electric cars. British constructors and engineers have actively contributed to the development of these technologies, with London being the first European city to host Formula E rounds. Lewis Hamilton, starting his career in the early 2000s, became the symbol of modern British motorsport. A 7-time world champion, he set records on the track and is also an advocate for equality, sustainability, and charity. Young talents like George Russell continue to conquer new heights, demonstrating that British motorsport has a strong future. If you want, I can add individual stories about legendary figures, technical breakthroughs, or interesting race episodes. Or maybe create a text about British motorsport's influence on global culture. Just say, cultural and technological impact of British motorsport. British motorsport is not only about racing and technology, but also an important part of national culture. Competitions have shaped ideas, a